Ancient World, Ancient Nukes, Chapter 2, The Garden of Eden, Birthplace of Life, Genesis of Destruction. As the archaeologist in the modern day studies the strange crystallized sands, remnants of a cataclysmic heat, he can't help but wonder, could a blast of unimaginable power have occurred thousands of years earlier? Could the fringe theories of ancient civilizations having nuclear weapons have more truth than ever imagined? The scene shifts, peeling back the layers of time, to reveal one of the most celebrated moments in history, Eden, long before the chaos of modern life in the dawn of humanity. Adam and Eve work the land as young, beautiful farmers, in perfect harmony with nature's rhythms. They live in balance and fulfillment, unaware of the forces that might change everything. The soft melodic sounds of flowing water fill the air, interwoven with rustling of leaves stirred by a gentle breeze. The sun bathes a shadow in a golden light, casting dappled shadows beneath the towering trees that stretch toward the heavens. Birds sing their songs, creating a symphony of nature's calm. The gentle clink of wooden tools against fertile soil punctuates the stillness as life moves in harmony with the land. It is Eden, a land untouched by war or time, where the air is sweet with the scent of blooming flowers and the earth is rich with life. Here in this golden valley, humanity lives in perfect harmony with the world around them, tilling the soil, harvesting the gifts. The rivers flow with the clearest water, and the trees bear fruit of every color, more than enough for all. It is a world of peace, simplicity, and serenity, a world at the height of its splendor, but also on the verge of something far more profound. In a small clearing within Eden, there are two figures, Adam and Eve, who move quietly through a lush grove, their steps light on the soft grass. Eve, her hair catching the sunlight, reaches up to pluck a piece of fruit from a low-hanging branch, admiring its perfect ripeness. Nearby, Adam works the soil with his hands, tending to the earth as if it were an extension of his own body. The air is calm, the hum of farming life a gentle backdrop to their movements. Adam glances over at his mate. She has an almost ethereal beauty that reflects the harmony of Eden. She is petite but strong, with flowing hair the color of wheat under the golden sun. Her eyes are soft and observant, a deep green like the lush leaves of the trees around her. Eve's movements are graceful and fluid, as though she's in perfect sync with the natural world. She often wears simple earth-toned garments made from soft fabrics, highlighting her connection to the land and the simplicity of their life. She thinks out loud, her voice soft and content. The earth is kind to us this season. The crops will be more than enough to see us through. She turns the fruit over in her hands, feeling its smooth surface, before placing it gently in a woven basket at her side. Her expression is one of quiet satisfaction, as though she has never known a world beyond the bounty of Eden. And Adam, smiling and content, says, "As they've always been." He straightens up from his work, wiping his brow as he surveys the land around them. His eyes rest on the distant trees and the flowing river that feeds their crops, and his smile broadens. This is our home, our life, and nothing could ever change that. Adam's voice is filled with an unshakable certainty, as though the very idea of change is foreign, unthinkable, in a place so perfect. He is tall and broad-shouldered, with a physique that speaks to his role as both caretaker and provider. His skin is sun-kissed from long hours working in the fields, and his hair is dark, wavy, and falls loosely to his shoulders. His eyes are a striking blue, filled with confidence and a sense of purpose. His clothing is practical and minimal, emphasizing function over form, and he carries himself with a calm strength, rooted in the stability of their life in Eden. But in the distance, there is a rumble, a faint sound, like thunder rolling across the hills, yet no storm approaches. The sky remains clear, unbroken in its endless blue, and the sun still shines down upon Eden, casting long golden shadows across the valley. The sound is so faint at first that it seems almost imagined, almost a distant tremor, easily dismissed in a land as peaceful as this. Yet the stillness that follows the rumble is more noticeable, more unsettling. Birds pause in their songs, and the breeze for a moment seems to still, as if waiting. Eve, pausing, slightly concerned, says, "Adam, did you hear that?" Her voice is gentle, but carries a hint of worry as she looks toward the horizon, her brow furrowing ever so slightly. The fruit remains in her hand, forgotten for a moment, as her senses reach beyond the immediate calm of their world. Adam, nonchalant, brushes it off, saying, "Well, perhaps the earth is speaking. It has secrets, after all." He shrugs, though there is a flicker of something in his eyes, a brief moment of uncertainty that he quickly dismisses. He picks up his tools and continues his work, determined to let the moment pass. But Eve does not move so quickly. The rumble fades, leaving an eerie silence, and the air feels heavier now, as if the world itself is holding its breath, waiting for something yet unseen. The fields remain as fertile as ever, the trees as lush, but there is a new weight to the moment, a subtle shift in the air that neither Adam nor Eve can fully understand. Eve casts another glance toward the horizon, her mind quietly turning over the possibilities. Was it nothing more than the earth settling beneath them, a natural occurrence in a land so full of life? Or was it something else, something deeper, older? She reaches down to pick up the basket of fruit, but her hands hesitate, her thoughts still fixed on the distant sound. She whispers to herself more than to Adam, "The earth speaks in many ways, but I have never heard it like this before." Adam looks up briefly, catching the tone of her voice, but he says nothing, choosing instead to focus on the work at hand. Yet the unease lingers between them, unspoken but palpable. The valley, though still beautiful, now seems to hum with an undercurrent of tension, like the calm before a storm. And so Eden stands at the precipice, a world of unparalleled beauty, peace, and abundance. But in the distance, beyond the golden fields and the flowering trees, the faint rumble of change has already begun. The world, though unaware, is on the verge of transformation, where the simple life of the valley will soon give way to forces far beyond its control. The scene lingers on Eve as she turns back toward Adam, her face shadowed by the leaves above her. Her hands grip the basket more tightly now, as though bracing for something she cannot name, something that lingers just out of reach. The wind picks up once more, rustling the leaves of the trees, but now it carries with it a different sound, the distant echo of something ancient and powerful, waiting to be awakened. The soft crackle of distant flames begins to fill the air. Adam and Eve walk through the lush garden, their footsteps crunching on leaves and twigs. In the distance, they see something unusual, a bush burning yet not consumed. Leaves remain green, its branches unscorched. A mystery, a warning. The crackle of the fire grows louder, but the air remains calm and cool. And Eve whispers, "How is this possible?" And Adam, mesmerized, says distractedly, "It burns, but it doesn't burn away. What power is this?" And Eve is fearful. "Should we even go near it?" And Adam, uncertain, says, "I don't know, but it feels like it's calling to us." They approach the bush cautiously, the heat of the flame strangely absent. The bush remains ablaze, yet no harm comes to it. And in this moment, a temptation stirs. The temptation to know, to understand the secrets hidden within the fire. It is a power unlike anything they've ever known, and it speaks to something deep within them, something dangerous. Adam, his voice lowering, intrigued, says, "What if this is the key to something more? What if we could harness this fire?" The crackling grows louder as if in response to Adam's curiosity. And Eve, with a firm warning, says, "No, this is not for us to understand. We are farmers, not gods." The crackling of the flame intensifies as if responding to Adam's growing interest. Eve watches him, her brow furrowed with concern. She can see the pull of the fire in his eyes, the way it draws him in. But she feels the danger in it too. There is something wrong about this fire, something that should not be. And Adam, his voice lowering, intrigued, says, "What if this fire is behind everything that is alive? And if we mastered it, we would be gods ourselves." His voice is barely audible, filled with wonder and possibility. And Eve, with a firm warning, says, "No, this is not for us to understand, and it will never be." The sound of the crackling fire fades as Adam and Eve retreat from the burning bush. They return to their simple tasks, but something is shifted in Adam's mind. The bush lingers in his thoughts, a quiet whisper at the edge of his mind, and although they return to their peaceful life, the seeds of curiosity and temptation have been planted. And from these seeds, dangerous thoughts begin to grow. Adam's internal monologue dictates a pattern to him. What if there is more to this life than we've been taught? What if we've been living in ignorance, blind to the true power that lies beneath the surface? That bush, it was no ordinary fire. It was something else, something far greater. Footsteps approach, and Eve walks up behind Adam, sensing his distraction. Your mind has been elsewhere since we saw the fire." Adam says, "Well, can you blame me? What we saw, it wasn't natural. There's something more to this world, Eve. I feel it. And I can't stop thinking, what if we were meant to understand it? What if we were meant to harness it?" And Eve repeats herself from before, "Adam, we are not gods. We are caretakers of the land. The fire was not about us, and it wasn't for us." And Adam murmurs, "Well, perhaps, but if we were more than caretakers, then what? What if we were the creators?" The sound of the wind picks up, swirling through the trees, carrying with it a faint, ominous hum. The narrative turns more somber and more foreboding. And so the temptation begins, not of fruit, but of knowledge. The fire from the bush burns in Adam's mind, a spark that will one day grow into a flame that could either light the path to enlightenment or burn the world to ashes. The choice will not be his alone, but it begins here, in the heart of Eden, where peace now teeters on the edge of discovery and danger. The scene fades with the sound of wind and distant, faint, crackling flames. The peaceful garden still hums with life, but now it carries a sense of foreboding, and the sound of distant thunder rumbles again. In the heart of Eden, a question has been asked, a question that will echo through the ages. And the answer may lead to the beginning of a new age or the end of all things.